Welcome everyone to the return of a legend, with Son of the Mountains for Poland leading the forces of Slaanesh to take on Grand Cathay. So we are going to be on the Cathay Desert, so a bit of a home advantage here for the boys in light blue. But starting here with Grand Cathay, we are going to have 4 units of the Jade Warrior Halberds. Starting off the box with a bit of a tanky front line, going to be leading up behind is the Celestial Dragon Guard. So on either side here of this juicy pocket indeed. The elite of the elite infantry here with 95 armor, anti-large armor piercing, as well as that charge reflect and expert charge defense, giving them some nice abilities to buff. So in the sandwich, we are going to be having 3 units of the Jade Warriors with those crossbows. These bad boys do actually have quite a good bit of armor piercing, so 6 armor piercing per missile, so they can really take down some of the tankier units in the Slaanesh roster. Double Grand Cannons here in the back, very strong up against all the large single entities here from Slaanesh, and also those chariots. 2 units of the cheap and cheerful peasants in the back, and for the Lord Joyce, we are going to be having Xiao Ming, so the Lord, the King of all dragons here in the front, going to be leading the forces here with the Warding Iron, as well as Arcane Conduit, the Strength of Yang, Metal Shifting, and for the spells, the Constellation of the Dragon, Dragon's Breath, and the abilities of the Master of Alchemy, and the Transformation of the Dragon. So a really cool force here, looking very dwarven, I must say so. This is definitely a Son of the Mountains mirror match for sure. And for the forces of the legend himself for Poland, starting with the double Chaos Furies here in the top right. In the bottom left, they're super wide. I really like this here with Slaanesh. 2 more units of the Chaos Furies. So these bad boys do have armor piercing. That is going to be their faction trait here for Slaanesh. Each one is different in every single of the Chaos factions. And for the cavalry, really cost efficient, are going to be the Hellstriders of Slaanesh. Really quick at 100 speed. They do have poison, but most importantly here, the Soul Hunters and immune to psychology. So they're going to be getting buffs for more kills that they make, and also they're immune to terror routing, which is really cool indeed. On top of here, they actually don't have devastating flanker, which is a little bit of a shame, but they still do bucket loads of good damage. And these are going to be the Hell Scourger variant, so they're actually going to be higher on the melee defense there with those whip attacks. So for the front line, we are going to have 3 units of the whips here from the Marauders of Slaanesh, backed up by 5 units of the anti-infantry sword and shield. 2 units here of the Seeker chariots in the back, very good anti-infantry armor piercing, and they look dope as hell. And I wish they were so much better, but I just feel like they're really garbage at the moment, but they look so goddamn cool, and the stats look absolutely fantastic. I don't really know why they're so bugged. Hopefully someone in the comments can share that with me, but they're very good anti-infantry armor piercing, poison and magic damage, so hopefully when they get changed with that devastating flanker, these things are going to make mincemeat of everything. But yeah, fantastic, I'm sure, in the future. So for the Lord Joyce, we are going to have the Master of Seduction himself. We are going to have Nakari. Just going to have his brilliant peasants here on the battlefield with the Harvester of Souls, Arcane Conduit, the Blissful Rapture, Soul Siphon, as well as Acquiescence, the Lash of Slaanesh, and the abilities of the Witsealer's Sword and Willing Prey. So good debuffs, as well as the nice tear-shaped whipped ability. It's going to be really good at just tearing apart the frontline infantry forces. So I really do like us being dawned with Nakari on the battlefield. He's a super fine lord and really quick at 100 speed. Yeah, do not underestimate this man. He's extremely powerful. So cannon shots in the front, and just listen to those sounds. They're absolutely fantastic as they fire here into the front line of the Seeker Chariots, and they are destroying them. Down by 25% HP already. Very good work from the Grand Cannons. And it looks like here they are going to turn and burn. So the targets are going to be the second Seeker Chariots here down the bottom. They're going to be charging up to the top. They're going to be moving quite nicely here. There's a bit of a ridge, so we could struggle with the accuracy from the Grand Cannons. Oh, who am I kidding? They're going to be hitting like absolute steam trains here. Look at the damage. Look at the chariots. One has already bit the dust. Going back there to the Chaos rounds. Fantastic stuff. Down to 50% HP already. Getting shot in the front by those crossbows, and they only have 40 armor, so the crossbow bolts, even with 6 armor piercing per missile, is going to just tear apart these chariots. The micro there, unfortunately, not going to be enough for Poland, but we do move in here with the double Chaos Furies. Now they have a bucket load of armor piercing, shutting down the Jade Warrior crossbows. They do have 90 armor thanks to the stance ability, but that is not going to be enough here for those Furies. Are going to get in, and they're going to rip them head and arm from limb. So let's have a look here. We are going to get a breath attack down the line of the Marauders. Very nice attack there. The whip coming down the line of the Celestial Dragon Guard, and on the flanks here, moving in with the infantry, the Marauders, the Hell Scourgers, are going to be fighting up against the Jade Warrior Halberds. Over here on the left, we have some cavalry charging through into the back line. We're going to clatter here into the forces of the Jade Warriors. And the crossbows here do get yeeted back into the middle of the sandwich. Very good micro ability here shown by full Poland. We're going to get a good hit and then we're going to get out, making sure we're not taking too much unnecessary damage. Moving around the back is going to be the Marauders of Slaanesh. They're not super slow, but 38 speed is pretty good there for infantry. They will be able to get round the back and pin in a lot of these units. We need to get these Marauders to shut down the Peasant Long Spearmen. They're extremely cost efficient here up against the cavalry for sure. So in the back, the Hellscourge is still going to be fighting in the main line. It looks like Nakari has picked out his target to seduce, and that is going to be Xiao Ming. Now, Xiao Ming is no normal man here to seduce. We are going to have to get him in there, make sure we can rip out the dragon form and bring him back to the side of chaos. But here in the middle, the Marauders fighting up against the Jade Warriors. The nice heavy armor there is going to be holding true, but it's like the Peasant Longspearmen. They've had enough. They've been terrified, and I don't blame them. A big seductive beast like this is going to allow many people here to turn and run. In the middle, Marauders now fighting up against the Celestial Dragon Guard. They probably won't do too well there, but they might get some good damage in trade. The Chaos Furies are going to be recharging with all that good armor piercing. Another whip here down the line. Good damage, good consistent damage here up against the Jade Warrior Infantry and back lines. Slight charging in again from the Hellstriders. Good micromanagement here from the Son of the Mountains legend. And in the middle, it looks like we are going to get a big bombardment here coming down on the forces of Slaanesh. 1, 2, 3 units getting hit. That does also include the Jade Warriors, but I think for cost efficiency wise, that's pretty damn good. In the back, a very good trade here. Looks like it is going to be a Dragon's Breath down the line. Oh, that's some gorgeous damage. 25% HP damage there on the Marauders of Slaanesh. And in the middle, still going to be fighting quite strong. Good. Look at those claws coming in here from Nakari, just whipping. I love his animations. He's so quick and nimble and everything I would expect him to be here from lore, and he's just going to be butchering waves upon waves of infantry here from the Cathay forces. And summoning here in dragon form is going to be Xiao Ming. It's like Constellation of the Dragon is going to be charging down here up against Nakari and trying to do as much armor piercing damage as we can. 580 armor piercing weapon strength is going to be thumping on the front door here and really putting home up against Nakari. Now, he does have physical resistance, and the magic damage of Xiao Ming is going to be circumventing that really nicely. And even in dragon form, that breath attack is going to come down the flanks of the Hellscourges and really tear apart a lot of that infantry. So balance of power is hugely in the favour here of Grand Cathay, and it's looking pretty bleak. We've lost all the chariots, the cavalry's down to minimum, most of the infantry is gently winning, but it's looking pretty rough here. The Nakari's going to be extremely low. He's down to 1,300 HP, and Xiao Ming, he does have Willing Prey activated on him. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. It looks like here, Master of Alchemy has been used to give him that magic damage. That's actually going to increase his base weapon damage. I think he has magic damage as set, so I think actually that Master of Alchemy is going to be a little bit of a waste. Might have been a little bit better placed on the Celestial Dragon Guard. In the middle, Nakari just going to be fighting through all the forces, trying to tear out and do all the good butchery where he can, trying to support as much of his cavalry and infantry as possible. We do break some Peasant Long Spears in the back. Now it's like more Peasant Long Spears are going to fall onto the sword of these Marauders of Slaanesh, and they were born for battle. Look at the spears! They're going to be using them a little bit more like swords, actually. Absolutely fantastic. And in the middle here, we do have another whip down the line of 2 units of the Celestial Dragon Guard. They're going to be getting pretty low here, 2,500 HP. We could even maybe, we have terrified the second unit, so great stuff here with Nakari. He's going to be very low, 1.2k, and the Dragon King himself is going to be charging through 5,600 health, as we do get a Dragon Breath down the line there of the Marauders of Slaanesh, really whittling down the numbers here. Balance of power is getting so close, teetering on army losses here. I don't really know if we can get back into this here as the forces of Slaanesh. It's going to have to take an absolute miracle from Nakari to get back in, but he needs to get some good damage on Xiao Ming. That's going to be the main way back into this. So Celestial Dragon Guard are going to be holding here alongside Xiao Ming, giving that nice damage resistance, or should we actually say ward save. That's going to be 5% there thanks to his abilities. It looks like they're going to be breaking under the pressure of the Marauders. So lovely work here. Good persistent push from this mass infantry front line. In the back, Nakari does shatter some of the infantry. Balance of power is going to hold steady for now. Most of the infantry has broken here from the forces of Grand Cathay. It looks like it is going to be pretty much Xiao Ming versus the world as the infantry just clean up shop. And if he can snipe Nakari, I think that will be the end of the game. but the problem is there's nothing to supplement him, so maybe a couple of debuffs, maybe Acquiescence, Willing Prey as well could actually finish off Zhao Ming. Balance of Power is coming closer and closer back to the middle. You've got to be really, really careful, and being that we are actually going to be chasing here with N'Kari, he's going to be healing thanks to his abilities. Things are going to be running away and breaking, and we are going to be chasing with Zhao Ming. Narcissism has been activated. That's going to pin in place, and now we're going to start attacking here with N'Kari. So Willing Prey has been activated. Negative 40 melee defense, bringing him down just to 10 melee defense. Good butchery here coming out of N'Kari. The Wits Healer stored, as well as Sweet Sorrow, giving that speed and vigor back to N'Kari. Up to 1,000 weapon strength as he fights up against Zhao Ming. He's going to be absolutely destroying him, down to 2,052 HP. Can he finish the job, though, is the question. He's trying to get in here. The animations, he's going to kind of get stutter-stepped here, but he has been finished off. Fantastic game here between both of these two absolute legends. What a game indeed. I generally thought Slaanesh were up with their backs against the wall, but they do bring it back in. Fantastic work. So 3,600 damage value there for N'Kari, 220 kills, and really nice there with his abilities to allow him to heal in the end stage when all of those units were breaking and routing. So the Seeker Chariots really didn't do much, 240 there for one unit, already got taken down by 30% HP before they even touched the front line, and the other one just got absolutely decimated by the double Grand Cannon. So 477 and 320, so really not too much value overall. I think double cannons up against Slaanesh is a bit of a bold move, just because of how fast Slaanesh are. Even their infantry at the slowest are going to be 38 speed, which is going to be considerably faster here than the majority of your infantry from Grand Cathay. So let's have a look at the cavalry. So 160, 530, we have 280, 290, 270, 550, and 480. So okay overall. Some of these getting hundreds of kills, so very good work. With 1,200 there for the Hell Scourgers, 400 and 550, very strong performance. 480, 520, 380, and 820 for the Chaos Furies. Yep, strong performance here. Really, really well played from the Son of the Mountains for Poland. 154 kills, 2,200 for Zhao Ming, with 1,100 and 650 there for the Celestial Dragon Guard. 460, 995, 460, 400 from the Jade Warrior Halberds. Of course, they're going to be anti-large and armor-piercing, so they pay for a lot of armor-piercing that they don't really necessarily need in this matchup. So I think actually just going wider with Peasant Longspearmen probably would have been a bit of a, a bit of a better trade. And then maybe just regular Jade Warriors. Just the Swordsman would have done quite nicely here, I think. So the Jade Warrior Crossbows, 630, 280, and 900. It's a pretty good performance with 600 and 470. Do watch these bad boys. They are extremely good here up against Slaanesh. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please smash that like button. It really does help here on the channel. Feel free to leave a comment down below, and then also feel free to subscribe. It really does help. You guys have been doing a lot recently, and even if you don't have a YouTube account, do feel free to make one. It takes 10 seconds. Then also subscribe. It really does help quite a large amount. If you haven't checked out the description, you can find all my other social media platforms, including Twitch, Twitter, and then also my Discord. And other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon.